Now, if we take a look in the atlas, we see that we basically have everything in Sunrise Spring Worlds, and also don't mind the spoilers right there. As we see, we have, all the stuff we can basically get except for in Molten Crater because we need 2 more eggs in that level, and we also need 110 more gems. So basically, we are done with Sunrise Springs for now, and we only have one little thing to do. Well, hey, my fellow video gamers, Let's Players, I'm JuddlePlays, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Spyro 3 Year of the Dragon. In this episode...
Already, sir. Just jump on.
Yeah, we're gonna be getting on the balloon, but I'm gonna talk to all these guys right here.
This balloon will take you to the great Tiki Lodge in the sky. Just jump on when you're ready.
I never got what's so good about the Tiki Lodge, but let's talk to this one.
Hop in the balloon whenever you want, Spyro.
Why, thank you. You're very nice. I don't know if you're a guy or a girl.
I guess you just hop in the balloon now. Don't ask me how it works. I just showed up for the punch and cookies.
Probably my favorite one of those guys. Now let's talk to Sheila.
This balloon will take you to a land closer to the sorcerer, Spyro. You can also use it to come back here whenever you want to.
Yeah, that is basically a thing. We can actually come back here, which we do need to come back here eventually. But now, we have either stay here or Midday Gardens. Let's go to Midday Gardens and see what waits for us on the way there. Bianca strikes back.
Listen carefully, you stupid girl. I'm only going to ask you one more time. Why haven't you disposed of that infernal dragon?
I've tried to scare him off, Your Highness. But he's just not afraid of anything.
Not afraid? Not afraid? Why have I been training you all these years? Use some magic! Here's a spell book. Whip up a monster and eliminate him.
Kill him?
I don't care what you do, you useless brat, as long as you get rid of him.
Okay, let's see what we got here. This ought to do it.
You, come here.
Personally, I think I'd like it if that boss actually had the bunny ears that it had there. I mean, I'd like the bunny as the boss, but you never know. So, what we have to do is we have to fight this guy. His name is actually Buzz, and that is actually a really cool background. I really like it.
When I heard the sorceress was planning to ambush you, I got here as fast as I could. No worries, though. This wussy green toad will be no match for the two of us.
And yes, sorry about the quick pause there. My mom had to come in and say that my parents were leaving quickly. Sorry about that. I wasn't meaning to do that. And why was I running? Okay, this is Buzz. What you have to do is you have to basically run after this guy, and you want to push him into the lava like that. And I believe one more push will get it. And there we go. And once you push him into lava, Sheila will go and deal the damage to the guy. Also, you want to be careful here, because as you see right now, he'll be doing that, which you want to basically run on the outskirts of this area, because then you won't get hit by the guy. And luckily, you want to make sure you charge him before that, but we already got him in the lava. That was actually really fast. Overall, this boss is actually, I guess you could say it's a decent amount of difficulty for the first boss. Not too hard, but not too easy. I would definitely say this guy is definitely not a pushover, and okay, that was good. Now, what you want to do here is I'd usually wait until the thing goes away, and then you want to charge him, and he's actually doing this for all. He's actually not in the thing there. Okay, there we go. Why was he, like, outside of the fire there? That was actually the reason I could not beat this boss as a little kid, because I wondered, like, what am I supposed to do when he puts the fire there? I didn't realize you had to wait for him until he got done with that, because that was just a stupid thing. Now, okay, that actually hit me. I was thinking of doing, like, a no damage run. Okay, are you just gonna run all the way over there? Thank you, actually. That was really nice. Let's just wait for the fire to go now, and there we can hit you. Okay. Now, oh, you're actually not doing it that time. Thank you. That's weird. Sometimes he does it, and sometimes he doesn't do it, but when he doesn't do it, it's, like, really awesome, because then you don't have to worry about, like, the fire going. But I believe we're going into one that's actually a little bit easier than the first fire thing he did. What he's doing now, he's basically just gonna be doing that, but what you can do is you can basically just jump over it, and then just knock him into the lava like that. So I find that one a little bit easier than the other one, because you just don't have to wait for him. Now, It looks like we have one more hit on this guy, Buzz the name, because he's Buzz Aldrin, he went to space, and then we should be done with this guy. Like I said, he's definitely not my, well, I didn't say this, but he's definitely not my favorite boss, but I guess he's one of my favorite bosses, and that is the last hit. I didn't know how close we were to the edge, but Buzz is done, and sadly he gets melted into the lava. That is really bad. Grayson. Grayson is a supporter of the gay LGBT community, so that's good. Not the gay LGBT community, but the LGBT community. So yeah, and now you might think, oh, you could end the episode here. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing that. Just because it was a boss here, I'm not going to end the episode because, well, that'd be a little crazy if you think about it, because this episode's only been like 5 or 6 minutes long. I don't know because I messed up my intro, but first let's run out here in Midday Gardens. We have someone to say something to us right here. Taking long enough.
Okay, Dragon. You've managed to survive longer than I expected. But you haven't the slightest idea what sort of dangers lie ahead of you. I suggest you grab your cat friend and whatever eggs you found and hightail it back home while you still can. I'm telling you this for your own good, you know.
You know what? I kind of like that there, because as you're going to see, Bianca's going to evolve in this game. I'm not going to get too much into the evolution of Bianca, because then it would get, like, it'd kind of spoil the game, I guess you could say. But yeah, Bianca does evolve as a character. Excuse me for that one. I might have just cut that burp out, because that would have been a little disgusting. But now we are in the Midday Gardens. This is, as you know, the one that's based off of the Midday. And there are gems in here, so that's a good thing I went back in here, but yeah, I am not so sure if I like this homeworld the best or if I like the homeworld after this the best. It's kind of like iffy for me because there are some levels in here I really like. Actually, there are a lot of levels in here I really like, but there's an egg right here, Dave. Because, I mean, even though I really like the homeworlds in this level, I do like the homeworlds in the I do like the levels in the next homeworld as well. Even though those levels are definitely a lot harder than these because, well, they're later in the game, so yeah, they're going to be harder. But the last homeworld, I like the last homeworld, but the levels in the last homeworld are a little bit, meh for me. It's just like, none of them are like really that good because one, it felt like they didn't really need to make all that much of the levels. I mean, they're pretty good levels, but you don't have to beat them to beat the game. Once you get to the final thing, if you have enough stuff, you can actually just go and battle the final boss, which you probably already know the final boss, but just for spoiler's sake, I'm not going to say anything about it because that'd just be stupid. Now, as we see here, here's one of the levels, Icy Peak, I believe, yep. Kind of sounds like a level from the first Spyro game, but I'm not so sure. It might have been like I think it was like Ice Cavern, it kind of sounds like, but no. That is level Icy Peak, the first ice level, and don't worry, there are 2 ice levels, I believe, in this game, and I believe they all have to do with these ice physics here, which, the stupid thing about these ice physics here is that you can't jump on ice, because I believe they thought that'd be too broken mingus. Okay, here's a little problem I sometimes have when recording these episodes. I don't know, but in in Sly 3, I mentioned that, I have to wear headphones so I can hear the audio in this game, and sometimes I'm just reading stuff, and I'm not so sure if it sounds like I'm not pronouncing the syllables correctly, but then, like, when I go back, I see, okay, I might have sounded it out, so if I sound weird that I said something and I thought it sounded weird, don't worry about that, but first let's talk to Hunter right here.
Hey, Spyro, Zoe told me that if we hit that doodad up there, the portal will open. Why don't you try spitting this rock at it?
Yes, this is actually something we need for this level, so that is why we need it to unlock it. But now we got this thing here. Press triangle to go. Okay, I guess we have to hold triangle, I guess maybe. Hold triangle to go into this mode right here, and then we want to shoot that right there. And that will make it so this level goes out Enchanted Towers. And then I believe he'll say something.
I'll see you in there later.
Yeah, he's actually going to be in the level Enchanted Towers. Now, Enchanted Towers. That whole level might take me a few episodes to do because that level is kind of long because there is a lot of crap you have to do in that level. And I guess I can get this egg thief first. Yep, there's actually an egg thief in the homeworld, which I believe there is an egg thief in the last homeworld as well. Also, they kind of changed direction. They kind of change directions if you do that, so that is kind of really annoying, so you kind of have to follow them on this path, because he'll stay on this path, but he does change directions every once in a while, so that is why this guy can be a little bit of a pain, I guess, but now I just want to flame the guy, thank you. I guess I need to get a little bit closer to him, and then we can flame the guy, okay. This guy is kind of getting on my nerves here. Yeah, it's kind of getting on my nerves because I wasn't even close to him, and that's what happens. Let's speed this up, just to make it funny. And as you see, eventually if you have patience, you can just run behind him, and you do catch up, because he doesn't run as fast as you, so you do catch up to him. But I think the way you're supposed to do it is you're supposed to keep running after him and then charge him, but I never do that, because I'm a bigger fan of just going after him with like hitting him with the flame, because I find that a lot easier. And also there's money bags up there, and that is actually Sergeant Bird, which you have to unlock there, which, as you know, after we get that guy, well, actually no, after we do a certain level, we're gonna have to backtrack to get some of the stuff in the last homeworld, because there's actually a few things we can get in the last homeworld through going through that, I guess. And there's stuff you want to do, because let's just say you'll get a few upgrades, but not for Spyro. Sparks will get upgrades eventually, and that those are sometimes really nice, so you want to do some of the levels, you can do that. I believe the first upgrade's not that good, but you cannot do these Spyro Sparks levels until you actually go through the... What I'm trying to say is, you cannot do these Sparks levels until you beat the boss of that homeworld, so that is something you have to worry about. So don't think like... Or, I believe you saw it in the one episode where it was kind of like, oh, you saw this weird thing here that was like, oh, you can go here and do this stuff, like right here, there's a Sparks message right there. That is where the Sparks mission will be of this homeworld, but we can't exactly do this one for a little bit. I don't know how many parts it's going to be, but it's going to be a few parts before we can get that one. But there's an egg right here. Let's get this guy. Modesty. Dragons don't have private parts. You don't have to hide it. Also, that's Country Speedway right there. That is a speed we have to do. I mean, that is a speedway we have to do. Let's pronounce it correctly. Up here is, it is Bamboo Terrace. That's what it was. I was going to say, like, Country Terrace, but, like, no, it's Bamboo Terrace. That is also another instance of a level that we can't beat on the first try, but there is one last level I skipped over, and there are also some gems around here, which is up there, which we need to learn another little ability to get up to that, but we're not going to be right in front of the portal, because I believe once you jump off of that thing, you're kind of going into the level, and I'd rather not go into the level, because I am OCD when it comes to this game. I might show it eventually, but on the Atlas, there's a certain order the levels are in, and I usually always go those levels in that order, because that is personally how I do this game. Like, there was a certain order I did the levels in Spyro the Dragon, there's a certain order I'm going to be doing the levels in here. Except in the next homeworld, it's going to get a little bit different, because some of the levels you can't actually... Well, there's some things you want to do before other things, but let's just talk to the hunter right here.
When you see a ladder or walls that look climbable, just jump onto it, and you'll grab it with your claws.
Yeah, that is another thing. You can jump onto stuff like this, and you can climb. This is actually an ability you had to buy from Moneybags in Spyro 2. Also, another ability you had to buy from Moneybags in Spyro 2 was actually swimming, which we kind of already have in this game or whatever. Also, if I have to say something, I'm guessing Midday Gardens is actually a pretty cool homeworld level music, is what I'm trying to say, but it is a pretty good level music, I guess you could also say. I'm saying that twice, okay, let's stop that, but it has a cool little nice relaxing theme. Sunrise Spring was all upbeat and stuff, but this level has like a nice relaxing theme to it. So let's talk to Zoe, or Zoe.
Hi, Spyro. This is a Super Flame power-up. You'll find more just like it scattered throughout all the worlds. Why don't you try this one out by using it to break all these planters? I think I saw a Rhinoc hide an egg in one of them.
Yeah, before we do that, I'm going to do something else. Because what we can do with this thing right here is that, remember, we saw a little breakable object back here. What we have to do is we have to run all the way back here and then use this power-up on this thing in order to get that. And that is basically, this might actually be all the gems. I'm not sure, though. And... that is all the gems in this little Midday Gardens homeworld, so that's really good. At least I didn't miss anything. But now I'm going to have to go back and probably get the last egg I have to do. At least I think it's the last egg, because I believe I got all the other eggs. At least I think I did. I'm not so sure. But now we have to kill all these planters here. Luckily, I don't think this is a timed thing, so you can take as many tries as you want if this does take a little bit. But this thing is actually all not that hard, because I believe I know where all of them are. The last one is actually way over here, though, so I probably shouldn't have done them in this order. But once we go over here, we'll actually see something, and then an egg will pop out of that. Like that. And then we can get this egg. And it also bounced, too, so that's not really that good. Matt, that's my dad's name. And now, is that the last egg in this level? Yep, 5 out of 5 eggs, so we have now completed the main homeworld thing of Midday Gardens, so... you might think that I'm going to end the episode right now. No, there's one last thing I want to do before I end this episode, and that is go up to Moneybags and pay and unlock Sergeant Bird. So if we can actually jump up here, I would want to talk to this guy.
Ah, my good friend Spyro. The sorceress caught this naughty bird letting off rockets in her fireworks factory. but I'm willing to release him into your custody, provided you pay his outstanding fines.
Now, I'm pretty sure this is going to be over 300 gems. 700, that's actually pretty good, of course.
What a sucker. That is, it's a far, far better thing you do today, Spyro, than you have ever done, and, well, so forth, etc. You get the idea.
I guess I get the idea. Bird. James Bird.
Sergeant Bird, 90068. Awaiting orders, sir.
I think you'll have to find your commanding officer for that. Hey, what are those things?
These are the latest military hardware. DBX-9 rocket launchers, state of the art.
So why didn't you use them to escape?
Because I have limited ammo, and I wanted to conserve it. For this. Say, where'd you come from? I thought dragons had all been dead for 1,000 years or something.
Well, the rumors of our extinction were slightly exaggerated. We just wanted a little peace and quiet.
Well, if it's peace and quiet you want, you should stay clear of my homeworld for a bit. I reckon I'll be blowing up Rhinox for weeks. Cheerio!
Now, Sergeant Bird is definitely a weird character because he's a penguin that flies. Yeah, it's a very weird character to do, but yeah, Sergeant Bird, I guess you could say that was a pun of James Bond, because it said Bird, James Bird. But now, as we see his very derpy face there, Sergeant Bird's base, that is the level we are going to be doing in the next episode. So, this has been JuddlePlays saying see you later, and I'll see you in Sergeant Bird's base. So see you later, and goodbye.